Good morning, everybody. Hope you're doing well. It is Tuesday. Pardon me as I clear off a little bit. It is Tuesday, which means it is a Kid Zone day, and I'm excited because today, as I've learned, is also National Apple Pie Day. So I'm not sure if you were aware of that. I wasn't until earlier last week. I was very excited to learn that. So we're going to have a little bit of fun talking about apple pie and having some conversations about being in the kitchen, and then a few other things before we end our time. But as always, I'm Corey Phillips. I'm the director of the Roberts Center for Leadership, Education, Advancement, and Development. So happy National Apple Pie Day. I've got a special guest as always. I've got my daughter Emily who's coming on screen. Come on in, Em. Good morning.
Good morning.
How was your commute to work?
It's good so far.
Good. So we're going to walk you through a recipe. Emily's mom, my wife, is a caterer, and she has a wonderful apple pie recipe that she's perfected over the years. Lots of memories, lots of great stories about that apple pie that we can laugh about, but those are our stories. I don't want to bore the Kid Zone kids with them. But we're going to dive into it. One of the things that I have learned over the years is that using two different kinds of apples for apple pie is really great. You want something tart, like a Granny Smith. These are your green ones. And you want something sweet to balance it out. And this one is a Pink Lady, which is actually my favorite new variety. There also is a brand new variety out there called an apple pie, a caramel apple pie apple. And if you can get your hands on one of those, they are delicious. They're super sweet, very good for you. So caramel apple pie variety. Today we're going to make kind of a traditional apple pie. We're using Shelby's recipe. I would challenge you, in fact, if you're looking for homework, if you don't mind starting those, if you're looking for homework, to find time to sit down with your mom or your dad, or even better, find grandma and ask grandma what her apple pie recipe is. The wonderful thing about recipes is they're kind of a story for your family that they can pass down through generations. I certainly have memories of the first time I learned how to cook from my mom. I still make the same breakfast burrito that I learned to make with her. That's a random thing, I know, right? A breakfast burrito. But it has memories for me, and it reminds me of my mom, and we can still make that today. So very fun. It's also in May. I want to remind you, because I'm seeing Larry over my shoulder here, that May is Bike Safety Month. And not only is it Bike Safety Month, it's also motorcycle safety. So no matter what you're riding, if your mom or dad ride a motorcycle or a scooter around, tell them it's just as important for them to wear a helmet when they're riding, as it is for you to wear your helmet while you're riding. So a couple things, I'm going to get my notes in front of me so I don't forget. We've already chopped up quite a bit of apples. So step one is definitely you want to peel and chop up. There you go. Peel your apples, and here I can help you. I'll tell you what, you do that one, I'll do the other one. Peel your apples and chop them up. Now, this is where apple pie is really fun, because you can make it any way you want. I like mine chopped. Some folks like them sliced. It's whatever you want to do, right? Just have fun with it. Make it your family recipe. And we're going to make this available too. In fact, throughout our conversation, Nick is going to drop in this recipe. And again, I challenge you to find out if your family has an apple pie recipe tucked away into it, and make that with your family. We've also got this really handy apple peeler quarter slicer tool, which is super fun. So we're just going to run through that, make it real quick. And Kid Zone kids, as always, I remind you to be safe and allow the grown-ups in your house to use the knives, okay? Definitely don't want to have accidents, because it's easy to do in the kitchen. I'm going to slice these up real quick with our knife skills. Hey, Emily, do you know what the world record is for the longest apple peel in one continuous peel ever?
No.
No? It was by a young girl. Actually, she was 16 years old in 1976. Her name was Kathy Miller. She peeled one continuous apple peel 176 feet and 16 inches.
Wow.
That is a long apple peel. That's a lot of free time too. But that's a pretty amazing feat for a 16-year-old. I don't know if I would ever have that much focus. All right, so we've got our apples. You basically want to use 6 to 8. We've got 6 here. We'll let you finish up 7 in. Not a huge stress though. And now we basically want to flavor what we've got in this bowl, okay? And it's very basic. I've got cinnamon, so we're going to sprinkle that over the top, very easy. I've got nutmeg, which is a great flavor to add to apple pie. I've got a little bit of salt, and that kind of helps balance out and makes the pie a little more savory than sweet. And then I've got 3 tablespoons of all-purpose flour, and I just sprinkle that over the top as well. And this is kind of the fun part. I haven't said it already, and I may not have. Step 1 of any recipe is to wash your hands, right? So we washed our hands. I'm going to get my apple peels out of the way. And if you compost, these are great for your compost pile. That'll make the worms in your garden very happy. We're just going to go in here and toss these up just like that. Great job, man. Well done. You want to make sure it's all coated so every bite tastes just as good as the last, right? There we go. Excellent. Now, I've got my pie. My first crust is laid out in the bottom here. We're going to modify just a little bit today because we can, right? It's apple pie. So I'm going to fill this just about to the top. So I've got a nice little curve here, right? Probably hard to see out there in Facebook Live land. But we've got a little curve to our top there. We've got extra apples. And actually, Emily, when you're done, you can just add them to this bowl because I have another idea for later. You can make a tart. Now, I've got 2 tablespoons of butter, and they're just cut up into pieces. And Shelby likes to just place these around in the pie, just like this. And that way, they help glaze the apples as it bakes and gets warm, softens the apples, nice flavor. And I bet some of you are thinking, Corey, you've talked about healthy eating all along, and now we're making apple pie. And you're right, good call. However, this is what I love about home cooking, is we have all control over what goes in this pie. So we can control how much butter, or in this case, how little butter. We can also control the ingredients. I know these are fresh apples, right? So we get to have all of our say over all of these ingredients. Thank you, kiddo. So again, I am a big fan of cooking at home, and I challenge you to seek out the apple pie recipe or any pie recipe in your family. But I do challenge you, because we're in spring, to find some good seasonal fruits. Strawberries are in season right now. And figure out if your family has a recipe around them and make that recipe together. It's a great way to come together as a family, right? So that being said, we're all mixed up. We've got enough to do a couple different things with these apples, so I'm excited. These are going to show up in pancakes probably later in the week. But for now, I'm going to let Larry guard those. And I want to talk to you real quick about something that I thought of when I was getting ready for today's time with our Kids Zone. And that is, if you remember a few weeks ago, we used our apple exercise and talked about bullying, and more so talked about kind words and allowing ourselves to label ourselves with kind words, but also to be careful with the words that we choose to use to label other people. And in fact, not to label other people, because we never know what somebody else is going through, right? You remember the exercise where we complimented one apple and we insulted the other, and when we turned the one over that we had insulted, it was rotten inside. It just felt lousy, right? So that made me think about one of the biggest ways or reasons why we are quick to insult other people or get angry with other people is stress, right? Do you ever have stress? Were you stressed out about your saxophone audition last week? How did that make you feel?
I mean, it made it frustrating to play. So, like, if I would mess up, I would just be like, oh, I'm never going to get this right.
Right? It's very frustrating. So stress, we've all got stress right now because things are just different, right? It's different. We want to go here. We want to go there. We want to see our friends. And it's just a bit different right now. And that can certainly cause stress. So what I don't want you to do, kids, is we don't want you to hold that inside and think that you're the only one going through stress, right? I was just having a conversation this morning with a friend of mine about stress. And the more we talk about it and put it out there in the space and share it with our family or our friends or our loved ones, the more we can kind of process that stress. And it doesn't have to be our own, because you're not going through this alone, okay? We're all in this together. So here's a quick exercise. I call it the 2-4-6-8 breathing exercise. We're going to take just a moment and do it together, okay? So we're going to take 2 breaths. We're going to inhale for 4 counts. We're going to hold our breath for 6 counts, and we're going to release it for 8. So 2, 4, 6, 8. Are you ready? All right, first breath. In for 4. Hold it for 6. And let it out slowly for 8. Another breath in through your nose. Hold it. Let it out. Feel better already. Simple little thing, right? It's a great way to just relax if you're feeling stressed out. 2, 4, 6, 8 breathing. I promise you it'll make you feel better. And what'll make you feel great is sharing with somebody else that you trust how you're feeling. Don't hold those inside, right? Those are for you to share with a loved one. Okay, we're going to finish this up. Now, normally we would take the time and roll out our crust, but again, with our pie, I want you to make it your own recipe. And that being said, one of the things I like to do, and this is a very buttery crust that we did, I'm just going to do little pinches and make it more of a crumble just because I can. I know it's not fully a pie, but it's pie-like, right? A little bit of grace. So we would go through that process, and I just pinch it all over, and it comes out really crumbly, and it's my favorite. But through the magic of TV, we're going to walk it over to the oven, which is downstairs, and then I come up the stairs through the kitchen. Sorry, I couldn't resist. And we have ourselves our apple pie. So I'm going to leave that right there in front of the camera to tease all of you, because I know you want a bite of this delicious pie. Nick's going to add that recipe again. But in closing, I want to say, first of all, thank you. It's always fun to be with you. Secondly, I want to remind you that we've got a Kid Zone on Thursday. We just made a really tasty dessert, so we should probably burn that off. So we're going to be moving on Thursday and being active, so join me for that. Crew, Crumley Roberts Employee Wellness is tomorrow, and then Fun Time Friday, it seems like is just around the corner. But let's enjoy today. Let's not rush to Friday. Enjoy our week. Make it the best week that we can make it, and we'll be together again tomorrow. And remember to care like family, listen to learn, and do what's right. Have a slice of apple pie, enjoy time with your family in the kitchen, and learn a thing or two and share a story. Thanks for spending time with us. Thanks for spending time with me.
You're welcome.
See y'all tomorrow. Make it a great day.